It's me, the action figure that every grown man is going to be looking for under his tree this Christmas season, the Joverine Joey Knight, and you are watching the 3 Points of Articulation podcast Christmas Special.
The 3 Points of Articulation podcast. Hello and welcome to the 3 Points of Articulation, 3 Points of Christmas Present. Thank you for Joey Knight, a good friend of the podcast, do the intro for us then. I'm your host, the big tasty Jamie Wills, joined as per normal by Eat Your Heart Out John Lewis. We've got our own Christmas ad. Adam the Wrestling Man, how are you?
I am good. Today I am a certified Grinch. Well, when it comes to the retro review, probably.
Probably. Well, we'll see. Good figures up in the retro review. And if he was a Christmas film, he'd be John Go All the Way. Johnny Flashback, how are you?
Pretty good. I think you had better sort of intros in our little pre-discussion we had, so you've used the worst one, unfortunately.
If he was a COVID variant, he'd be Omra John.
There you go.
That was your second worst one.
But it's not really Christmas related. Well, it is sort of Christmas related at the moment, isn't it? But it's not really Christmas related. Anyway, we're wearing our Christmas jumpers, as Adam alluded to. Johnny's wearing his NWA one. I've got my Rowdy Roddy Piper on. I've also got a bit of Christmas belly as well because I've discovered Miniature Heroes. And Adam's got his Enzo Amore jumper on as well. So
with big casts a little bit.
Very dated now. Very dated.
What is your favourite Christmas songs? Johnny, let's come to you.
I don't really like any Christmas song.
There we go.
Actually, I'll tell you what, there's one. Step Into Christmas by Elton John. That's pretty good.
If he was a singing camp man from Watford, he'd be called Elton Johnny Flashback. Adam, what's your favourite Christmas song?
I'm going to cheat and go with a song that was released at Christmas with a Christmas video and go S Club 7, Never Had a Dream Come True.
Oh,
obviously.
What are you going to say, Mr. Blobby?
It's about as much as a Christmas song as E17, Stay Another Day. I don't really class that as a Christmas song because it doesn't mention Christmas.
Yeah, but they're wearing white coats.
Yeah, so do the people that took my mum away. It's, but they didn't say Stay Another Day until Boxing Day, do they? My favourite Christmas song is Away in a Manger. Absolute classic. One of the first songs.
Banger. What a banger.
They've changed it in schools now because obviously I used to be a teacher. It's got like a different tune and stuff now. It's awful.
Yeah, it used to be like Way in a Manger. Pitch changes now, and it's just it's all gone awry, isn't it? Awry in a manger.
That was coming.
Yeah, that's too many puns for the intro, isn't it? Right, so Christmas. We're going to be opening Christmas presents for each other today. We've got normal segments of Pick Me Up, as well as the news coming up in a second, and we've got the retro review, which looking at Hasbro Series 8. Let's crack on with some news, shall we, boys?
News.
All I want for Christmas is news. You probably guessed that was coming, didn't you? News what order time now, and start off with my favourite bit of news is the Chella bone crushing action figures. Crushing.
Get it right.
We've had 2 reveals so far. Also a nice bit of news that they've said is that they're not the other 4 figures in Series 1 will not be from previous Chella figures, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Characters.
Yes.
A new signing, in other words.
Exactly. Fingers crossed for Gilbert. But the first reveal we have had is the Blue Meanie, revealed on Chella's Instagram, Twitter, and all the socials. Adam, thoughts on the Blue Meanie being the first one?
He's doing well for himself, isn't he, old Meanie? Getting a couple of high-profile reveals for himself. I'm all for it. I love the Job Squad. He's not going to be an integral character in many people's eyes. You've really got to be into collecting in the Attitude Era or ECW. But at this stage, everyone's going to buy them for the sake of buying them and fear of missing out. So, yeah, it's a great one for me. Always toyetic is Meanie.
Yeah, I was just going to copy what you said and add toyetic at the end, but then you went and said it. So pretty much nailed it right there. Nice, colourful character to lead off with. Pretty good choice.
Yeah, I think this is one that I thought this was going to be made. It had to be in the line, only because he was around the same era, didn't get a figure, and is also the son with Chella. So I think the Venn diagram of the figure made sense for it to be made. Just like the next person within reason, Adam Bomb, who obviously was around just before BCA's really come out, but as toyetic AF, isn't he, Jono?
Yeah, very. Especially when it comes with these goggle accessories and, a very colourful toyetic, that, as you said. I just have my own gripes personally about it not being made in the 7-inch line, but hopefully
You never know what's coming.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And apparently, the guy who's running this is at FC Toys, Jamie. You would know.
Yes, I do.
He says it'll have no impact on the other Chella lines, so they're gonna run side by side with no sort of slowing down to any other lines in Channel, which is good. So shouldn't really complain.
So it looks like they're doing. So there's different artists for the Bone Crushers. Brian Tippin's not doing the artwork for it. It's somebody called Matthew, I believe. Obviously, Jack from FC Toys has been sort of in contact with me. More on that later. But yeah, we sort of, I think, looking at the line, it makes complete sense. It's very strange why they've gone for the name Brian Clark and not Adam Bomb, because I remember he owns the name.
I never seen that part.
It just says Brian Clark Concept, which is the concept figure of Brian Clark. So whether there's just a bit of legality in there, I'm not sure.
Can't be if he owns the name.
Yeah, very weird, because he ends up on the t-shirts. He uses it for, well, obviously on the major pod.
Maybe he didn't want to give it over for some reason.
Yeah, very peculiar. But obviously Adam Bomb is the figure that Chella releasing for the retros, which is weird.
I don't know. Probably will go up the Adam Bomb eventually in the final product.
They're revealing the physical product of it, so the fully made prototype, I guess, on the 6th of January, with the pre-orders starting on the 22nd of January. So make a note in the diary if you like bone crunchers, like me. Not like you two. Or
it's a lot sooner than I thought it would come out, to be honest. So, fair play.
Well, it could be a case of the prototypes might be now, and then the pre-orders will be, but it might not be released until the summer, which is
of course,
more than likely. Speaking of someone that we were waiting a long time for, the Dynamite Kid. Easy for me to say. It's very rare I make mistakes on here with my speech, so it's a trophy, collector's piece. Dynamite Kid figure is shipping at the moment, so it should be with everyone in a couple of days. We had a conversation about the cape, Adam, didn't we, in the mint and the card. What was your views on that?
Yeah, we had a conversation because the figure itself, it looks good to me. Looks pretty standard as I'd expect the figure to. The accessory of the cape and Matilda look bang on. Probably better out the box, obviously, because you can see the cape. But the organisation of them inside the bubble looks weird and almost vampire-esque. It's just a weird organisation. So for me, I'm going to open anyway. And have it loose. So for loose collectors, looks amazing. For inbox collectors, I'm not quite sure it works.
Agree with that. I have seen the scaling, and it's still not right in a sense. It's quite tall. It's as tall as Hayabusa, which was already quite tall, and JY figure. So Dynamite was a bit shorter, so you'd expect the scale to be a bit shorter. But maybe there's going to do them all about that height, and if they do that way, I think it'll be a bit better, to be honest. They just have everyone the same height,
except for Nakano, who's tiny.
I've heard they're going to re-release that. I don't know if that was true or not.
Could make a custom Jedward. I like that, couldn't you? So yeah, I think the figure we discussed was the cape was the major point we spoke about. I think Matilda's placement, there's no other way you could have placed the dog, is there? it's fine as it is. I think maybe a bit lower down, but just very strange. I'd said my feelings originally was that it was quite a cheap looking figure, Remco-esque, I think, was like a copy. So you didn't agree with that, Adam. On second thoughts,
I think it looks Hasbro to me.
Yeah, as a second thought, I think looking at the figure, I thought the body looked a bit rubbery to start with. It might have just been the angle I was looking at it. I looked at a few more pictures, and I think legs wise and torso, it does look a lot better than originally. So I take that back. That's it. I'm sorry, I thought you were going to say something, Johnny. I thought you were about to start speaking.
No, I don't know. I was going to say it looks more like it just looks like a Chella rather than a Hasbro.
Well, it's good that they get their own style if that's the case. I think that's not.
I think that's where they're going wrong. They should just be doing their own thing. Try and keep them consistent with their own brand rather than trying to identically copy something else.
Let's pushing those nostalgia buttons. Think of the things that will push those buttons. The Al Snow artwork was released for the packaging. So we had the original Wrestling Trader exclusive, which was the black backing card. We also had the artwork, which is, I believe, called Artwork by Dan, I want to say. Something like that. I did have it here, but it's now gone. But you have a picture of Al Snow in the background, holding head, and a picture of just head itself on the background. Did you chaps pre-order this, Johnny?
First of all, thoughts on the packaging itself. It is really good, but it's not for me. Not the gimmick packaging. I'd rather just have the uniform one across the board, much like the Jazz Classics or the AEW Unrivaled. And as we've seen with Chella, they're sort of wanting to go around the same type of packaging with the original. So at least Al Snow is released in the original as well. But I still have ordered 2 of each just for see how I feel by the time it's released.
I haven't ordered it purely because the taxman's not been nice to me this Christmas. But I think the artwork is spectacular. I love that. I mean, we were just talking in the last one about sticking to a style and doing things a bit different and their own way. I think this artwork completely sums it up. I think it's magnificent. I mean, I'm not one that will uniformly set them out kind of like you do, Jono. So I quite like them on their own value, and I think the artwork's amazing. So well done to them.
Is illustrations by Rich is the Instagram page that
not Dan.
Not Dan. Dan. That's Rich.
I'll correct my own order. I actually ordered 2 of the normal and 1 of each of the alternative packagings.
That makes sense.
That's what I've done.
I think that's what a lot of people have done, isn't it? Because there's one for loose, and I think Chella know that. That's not a bad business sense. They know that people are going to collect the mocks as well as one for loose. So rather than adding paintwork to it or producing a chase, why not just change the packaging? They're going to sell anyway.
Very clever. Very, very clever.
Crafty little buggers. So you move on to let's have a little quick chat about the Anthony Green retro figure. I sent you guys an image of this before.
So he was August Gray, right, in NXT 205?
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
So he got released, I think, a few months back, didn't he? He's been popping up on the indies every now and again. It's from a company called Proving Ground. I think they're only releasing it at 100, and you got to DM him directly to get them. But once again, another retro figure being made from another toy company. Bit of scope in there, bit niche, should we say? But Johnny, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm not familiar too much of Anthony Green or whatever it's called in NXT, so I couldn't really comment on how it looks in terms of how it looks compared to the real person. But I just thought it was some sort of like cheap knockoff Ravishing Rick Rude or Manny Fernandez for someone a bit older than that. I don't know. It's hard to really tell until you see the final thing.
It does look cheap, to be fair. I think the skin tone is very wrong as well. Almost looks like a different race, to be honest. But it's interesting that it came out so quickly after his release. He was being built up in NXT. He was having quite a few wins and stuff like that before he got released. Not saying that's a reason or anything. But if he had lots of other plans, we know how WWE don't like that kind of behaviour. So you never know whether that was part of it.
Yeah,
I
I mean, it's
wouldn't-
just a picture at this point, isn't it? I think they're quite easy to knock up.
I wouldn't have thought any of that went on during his NXT time.
Just to give you an idea of his gimmick, Johnny, he's retro Anthony Green. So he's very much set in the 80s, if that reminds you of anyone.
Copycat.
Zombie Sailor Toys had Andre the Giant revealed. So the artwork from Ron Rudat came out, and obviously it looked a bit like Andre, but it looked like a Roald Dahl picture of Andre. And then the figure was released, like the mold of the figure anyway. Looks 100 times better, the actual mold itself. Actually, one I'm quite looking forward to see what he's doing. I'm not going to buy it anyway, but it's quite interesting. You had a good point about it, Johnny, on the Legion of Hasbro Facebook group, didn't you? About Andre's contracts and different figures and so on.
Yeah, he seems to be one of the only people that can have toys made across the board. He's got them with Super 7. He's got them with, I think it was McFarlane, was it? The movie franchise?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the what's he called? Fezzik.
There's another one.
Super 7 did.
There's a few more as well that he's involved with. And so it doesn't surprise me that he was able to be signed, and so and I wouldn't also worry about him not getting him in the WWE line still, because he'd still be signed to a Legends deal. So chill your beans on that.
Adam, I mean, this is one thing which, when they're technically redoing the Andre, which some people don't like, is there any figures like that you'd like to see redone or rehashed in this style? Or
That's a question to throw me out the blue.
So,
Jamie, let's just talk about Andre first of all, shall we? Let's be honest with the picture. The picture didn't do what they've produced justice at all. You know, we all know Ron Rudat's amazing at what he did, but obviously there's been something wrong here, because it just didn't have the feel of the figure that they seem to have been producing. I don't big up Zombie Sailor a lot, you guys know that, but that mold looks really good. To be fair to them, it does look slightly BCA-ish to me, as I said on Legion of Hasbro, but it's interesting to see how it'll come out, because Danhausen looked good and then looked cheap when we got the kind of final mold looking, so we'll have to wait and see, but it does look cracking.
It does. Honestly, yeah, ignore that question. We can save that rehashed one for a different time, can't we? Put you right on the spot there, didn't I?
You did.
I did. But yeah, I think we're all out of news, boys. It's a very short sort of Christmas.
Did you want to mention Brad Armstrong?
Yeah, because we had a brief conversation, didn't we, about him. The figure toys company, Brad Armstrong figure. I know hardly anything about Brad Armstrong. Adam, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, he was in NWA in the late 80s, kept randomly appearing in WCW throughout the early to mid 90s. Road Dogg's brother, I believe, one of the Armstrong boys. Was in a tag team with Scott or Steve as well for a time period. One of the most underutilized talents that I think there's ever been. His wrestling talent was absolutely amazing. I just don't think he had the charisma to back it up at the time, and obviously didn't have much support of the kind of big boys that you needed at the time. Figure-wise, will it do well? I don't know. I don't think there's going to be many fans of Brad Armstrong or people that are really desperate for his figure. So it's a strange one to make, but a good one for me.
I agree if it was anyone but them making it, because we've seen from the past that they can't really produce any good toys, really. Unfortunately, back to Brad Armstrong, you say about the charisma thing, apparently the story goes that he was full of charisma backstage. It was hilarious, funny, charismatic, but once he got out in front of the camera or the crowd, he was like, it didn't get that across, or it was never put across to the audience. So, and as you say, he's brilliant in the ring. It was just a shame that it never sort of clicked together for him. And then his early passing as well, which was unfortunate.
The Jim Cornette figure's okay for how it is.
That's what he's mean. It's okay. You give him a pass, you know, like saying it's good. It's just
And it's
Yeah.
kind of just a guy in a suit, you know. It's quite easy to produce.
yeah, I mean, and the head's very BCA like, so.
I love the Jim Cornette BCA. Well, I'd take your point. You were. Right, let's move on to our pick-me-ups then, boys. And there's going to be no Figure Toys Company figures inside these pick-me-ups. Spoilers. Pick-me-ups time. Now we're looking at all the latest pickups since the last episode of the podcast. Johnny, let's fire across to you.
Sure, no, it's coming to me. I actually need to pick them up. And we're picking up. It's Joey Knight. He's
Oh,
arrived already.
friend of the podcast, Joey Knight.
Friend of the podcast, intro of the podcast.
First
Fan of the
guest on Bone Crushing Sessions podcast.
He's got a lot going from us, Joey. So there we go. We'll look at the pink one first. So this is like the normal, I guess, the main one, main line, not the chase.
Signed as well.
It is. It's signed right there, as you can see on the camera. Joey Knight with a nice smiley face on.
How's the back looking? Hey, lovely that, isn't it?
I haven't even looked at it.
He's
Yeah.
I think. Well, I've got mine coming in the post tomorrow, all being well. But it's a great looking card, great looking figure.
Did you see what it said on the back of it?
No, I haven't seen the back.
Well, it says coming soon, ? Best of British Wrestling, Paul Tyrrell. The All-Nighters, Sexy Monkey, Robin Nightwing. And a Heart Dungeon Survivor Matt Sharp.
There you go.
Look at that.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting.
So either he's getting his friends involved and just have them on the back of the card, or they're coming out.
Very likely, since Joey's brother is one of them, the Sexy Monkey. Or is
I was
Joey
going to say it could just be a way to get his mates on the card, though.
Yeah, he's the Cody Rhodes of action figures.
It's a good idea, and certainly puts the cat amongst the pigeons. And anyway, purple version, 1 of 100 actually. There's a little mark in the corner that tells you that.
Oh, at least that's a straight sticker.
They're not being straight on others.
No, we saw one that was look, he'd been up all night.
Well, he is the all-nighter. So yeah, I think the figures have done really well. Actually, it's not as if they cut corners on something that wasn't, officially released by Chella. Joey funded it himself, and he'll be getting the profits of that, or whatever deal he's made. Don't know too much about it. The only thing that maybe suffers from the old Nick Aldis head, but not quite as bad. But other than that, they're done a good job. You can see Joey's big smile there.
Pearly whites.
I was wondering if the teeth on the box glowed in the dark.
In Chelsea, I think it's good that it's got the rotating waist. I think that's one thing that he said in the interview, that they weren't originally going to do the rotating waist. He said, it's got to have the rotating waist because he does the DDT.
Yeah.
So, I think that's one thing that he wanted in there. So it's good to see. I read it as rotating wrist first time I read it and spoke to him. So I was like, what all that means. But rotating waist, not the wrist.
If you want to look at and see what the Hasbro like. It's very Hasbro like. It's exactly like the the Crush or Mr. Perfect type. So definitely a homage to the Hasbro figures, no doubt about that for this one.
Well, he messaged me earlier because obviously we've been speaking about the intro for the pod and all sorts, and he said that he might have a few of the 1 of 100 lefts because the people haven't paid. So, and that's the only one I didn't order because I didn't know. I watched it with the sound off. I didn't know that was the 1 of 100. So fingers crossed I can get that. I've got the green and the pink on order as well. So
nice. You also include a couple of extras, which is nice. And there's a picture of him and his brother.
Oh, is that Joey as a young girl?
I'm not sure if his brother has signed this. No, it must be. It looks like Joey's writing the both do. But he's wrote Sexy Monkey over one of them, and then Joey Knight. Is Joey Knight Sexy Monkey or is that his brother?
That's his brother.
I thought so. I didn't want to get too confused with myself, but yep, there they are.
I think he was called the Nightwing, I think, or something in that realm.
Yeah, it is. That's what it says on the back of the figure. And a person want to enjoy himself. And it says, to my favourite wrestler.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did the Miz copy his haircut? The Miz used to have that, didn't he?
Yeah, it looks a bit like this, doesn't it?
Did Pepe Le Pew copy his haircut? No.
Got some guns on him there.
Yes.
Johnny Flashback guns.
But yeah, lovely figures. I'm really, really happy that they're released and people have seen them. I know he's had a bit of stress about it. The original scheduled date was for September. Also been pushed back. So I'm glad that they're finally hitting our floors.
Definitely. I've decided to wait for mine until the green one comes out because I've got one of each coming.
Yeah, I thought one of us had to help the pod out, make sure we do our friend his service.
Now, who the F is that guy, Johnny? You know who the you know who the F that guy is. Brilliant. What's your next one?
Oh, stick with me. I'm going to go with. I finally got my hands on Ultimate Warrior from Ringside, exclusive from a certain retailer. I took forever to give me it.
It's a retro now.
Yeah, so I finally got that, which is a smashing figure. I need to get it open and have a proper look later, but
I think it might be on Underrated or Superstar if we still did that segment. Very good figure.
Yeah, it's very good, but I wouldn't have said it was underrated. I think people do rate it. So
I just think it came out with not a lot of people talking about it, to be honest, that one.
I think when it first came out...
segment, to be honest, Adam, you just kept picking good figures that everyone thought was good and said they were underrated.
I think when it first was announced, it was like, oh, wow, I've been waiting for this Warrior. And because it came over in such dribs and drabs, it ended up being like quite a wet fart of a release. Yeah. Which you find quite a lot with Ringside exclusives. You find that like some retailers over here will have them in, some won't, and then by the time you pre-ordered from one place, another place has had it, everyone's got theirs, and you just think, oh, what's the point?
You mean the one place that we order from, and then it takes forever to get there to us?
Yeah.
Because there are some good retailers that do provide the figures in good, ample time.
Hey, there's loads of good retailers. You've got everything from, let's name a few, Wrestling Megastore, Rock and Roll Collectibles, Superpower Toys, all do really good pre-orders, amongst others.
Pop Shop.
Big Pop Shop. Pre-orders, he's just changed his prices as well. I noticed this whilst we're on the finished news. But $18.99 for an Elite they're doing. Absolute steal from Steve at Fig Pop Shop.
Definitely. It works better than kind of your point system or your discount. Kind of deal system, discount system. Really good, yeah.
I think basics are down to, I think it was like $7.99, I'm pretty sure. And then like American exclusives are $31.99. And yeah, it just makes a lot more sense to keep it as standard.
Worth having a look.
Yes. Yeah. Big shout out to old Steve on the Fig Pop Shop. We do not get paid for these adverts. Adam.
My first one is actually so nice. I've bought it twice, but there is kind of method behind my madness. I just saw this cheap on eBay the other day, and it was my only purchase of the month, really, with the Taxman issues, and that's the Hall of Fame $1 Million Man. In my cheapness, what I might do is see if I can find anybody that's going to For the Love of Wrestling and go into Ted's table and see if they might want to take this for me. So I've got one signed and one not signed, but we'll see. They might not do that.
I thought you were going.
I am, but I'm too cheap to organise any kind of signings or anything like that. And I don't really... I've got this weird thing about I don't really want to go up to people and talk to them and stuff like that. So it's not just about the money for the signature.
But I understand that
I don't want to do it.
Do you understand how this sort of thing works, Adam?
I am going for the experience and for the atmosphere. I don't care about going up to people. That's not my style.
You still got to pay for it, though.
Oh, I know that bit.
Doesn't want to meet him. But Adam, you don't officially go there unless you have a picture taken with a wrestler like this.
You can do that. You're there as well.
You don't officially go until you have that done. So, I might take it for you.
You might as well. You get to meet Ted. Adam pays for it. Win-win.
He can just stand in the background. Like, do you want to go to like under 18s nightclub and you got to a girl and you're like, will you kiss my mate? And the mate's just in the background. Like, no, do you guys not still go to under 18s?
Stop going, please, under 18 nightclub, Jerry.
Yeah, my first pickup is not under 18 years old. It's from the Legion of Hasbro Facebook group from our Survivor Series win that we had as a threesome. No, not in that way, with Alex and Phil Rapley. It was basically an elimination style tournament. It was just all about luck, wasn't it? One team, you put 15 quid each, and then the person that wins in the end wins a pick of the prizes. You guys have had yours. I've got mine, and it's the Hulk Hogan Series 1 12-back Hasbro mint on card with some weird writing on the top.
Adam hasn't shown his yet.
It's got. No, you haven't. No, well, that's why I haven't mentioned what the prize is. For some reason, it's got 249 written in the top right corner, which I'm guessing is the answer to the question: how many of Hulk Hogan's 260 moves did he not use during his career?
Fair enough.
Hogan-based joke there for you too. Adam, I guess. Oh no, Johnny, let's come back to you. Adam can share his in a sec.
Yeah, so we were talking about Fig Pop Shop just a moment ago, and I had some stuff where he's got the option you can just put them in your locker and you just pay the postage whenever you want to get them. So I've been like sort of building up a bit of a collection, and the last thing I bought was like a pre-order for Undertaker and Kane, or Ultimate Editions. So I thought I'll wait until they come into stock before I got anything, but then I just got a notification that he's posted them all out, like free of choice, everything that was in the locker so far. So sorry, free of charge. So thank you very much for that, Steve, and the free postage. So here's what was in my locker. So the first thing was I won an Owen Hart Micro Brawl on an auction.
Ooh.
That's the blue one.
It's a lovely figure. Adam, you've got that one, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah, so it was, I think it went quite cheap, so sorry about that. And then I bought a couple of loose ones and I haven't even opened them yet, so got some nice little packaging.
Is that a McDonald's apple pie?
It's kind of like a McDonald's apple pie or breakfast wrap type of.
I could squeeze this apple pie and it could go your way, it could go mine.
While John was opening that, I was well disappointed at McDonald's. I went and got the Christmas version of the apple pie, and it's usually a banana chocolate. And they've put some horrible mincemeat rubbish in this year, and I was gutted because I bought 2. Anyway, back to the figure.
Sorry, banana and chocolate. That's
devastating. So, not something I was really going to buy, but it was cheap enough, so I picked up the Trish Stratus from the Battle Pack with China. It's got a decent face, I think. And then we'll see what's in the next one while I open.
Have you got the Trish from the latest series? That's quite decent.
Spoilers. So there's China from the series as well with Trish. Don't think did they have a match at that time, Jamie? Do you remember?
What would have been 2001?
I think there was something involving Val Venus and
there was
Eddie.
The Intercontinental title. China pinned Trish for the IC title.
There's China.
Just a shout out to the packaging on that. How's the apple pie based packaging that they come in? How are you finding those?
You know what? You must spend quite a bit on packaging and stuff like that. So everything's like sent really safe. Everything's going to arrive in good condition. It's sent in. So
I guess it probably saves them a bit of time as well, doesn't it? If you just pops them straight into that.
And also from the Battle Pack, British Bulldog with jeans. So basic there.
He's back in his jeans. Jeans reunited.
You don't really need an elite of this, I think. So I'm happy to get.
A bit thin.
Sorry?
Looks a bit thin.
Looks probably is for the time, but it just looks like kind of jacked, which is quite good for a figure.
I think if you put a t-shirt on that, like say a custom Rebellion 2000 t-shirt or something, it will
maybe
it will go better.
I just don't remember him being in a t-shirt. I'm sure he was, but I mean, you'll know better than me.
That's why I mentioned the Rebellion 2000. So I remember him being backstage. In 2099, that was his first match back.
Maybe. The final thing was Trish Stratus again from this one's from Elite 88.
Ooh, that pink proper pops.
Yeah, it's TNA version, I guess.
Big Papa Pops.
Oh, I think she wore this in the Survivor Series we just watched. So it's 2001 Trish. And I also got a phone call from the Miss as well. She was in B&M and she said, "Oh, it's the Trish Stratus figure." And I said, "What colour is it?" She said, "White and red." I said, "All right, go get that then." So it's the Chase Trish Stratus as well.
From Mania 18.
From Mania 18.
We got the
I wasn't going to
basic.
get this one because of the basic, but it was just kind of like split decision and pick it up.
Once again, it's 18 quid in there, isn't it? It's always a treat when you get, because I remember last year when the SummerSlam Elites had appeared at B&M, obviously, message you, get you a couple of themes and stuff, but
I think they were going to be worth something in the future.
Yeah.
Not really.
Nick Aldis all over again.
Yeah, Nick Aldis worth a lot. At least.
Yeah. Hi. We gave him for free on the last episode, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. You did.
You did. Adam.
Yeah, here's something I definitely didn't forget. I was genuinely sure that I'd done this on the last pod for some reason, but obviously I haven't.
No, Clark mentioned, didn't he? He said that I'll send yours out. I'll send yours out today.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know what was in my head. But my prize from the Survivor Series tournament was the Tatanka. What series, boys?
9.
I think it's 9.
Sounds about right.
9. Yeah. Purple cards are 9. Yeah.
Yeah, the purple cards for me are one of the really good ones. I think the purple and the blue trunks that Tatanka's wearing really work well together. Tatanka, one of my favourites at the time, so really happy with that. Came in a protector as well, so thank you very much, Clark. Yeah, sorted. Goes on my prize shelf. Jamie's prize shelf is eBay, right?
It's actually the loft. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think a month after the competition ended, we've all got our prizes today. I think Phil got his Roman Reigns today, although I think that was for Alex, but yeah. Finally got them all.
No, Alex had the Ricky Steamboat.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this great competition. They continue to do great things for everyone, and I continue to benefit from them. So
very nice of Phil as the admin as well to take the Roman Reigns, because it was obviously the one that was going to be left to last. So thank you, Phil, on that one.
Yeah, I was going to go Steamboat next if he picked, because I think Johnny picked first, didn't he?
Yeah, let's not quantify these things, but I kind of, if I was going to put value to it, I probably wouldn't have put mine at the top. It was more just because I didn't have the Hogan, so I want to get something just to sell on. Jamie?
Speaking of prizes I won't be selling on, the Wrestling Megastore had an advent this month where everyone that's bought from the shop for the year, just DM them a receipt of and they'll put you into a wheel. Each day they'll spin the wheel and whoever wins the prize for that day. Started off quite small, so you get like a little like a Nasty Boys tattoo, I think it started off as, and then it like increases into like 25% off AEW figures for 4 months, or free shipping for 3 months, and so on. And I won the AEW action ring in the box. He messaged me, Craig did, and said, because some people have said that they don't want their prize and would prefer to risk it to try and win a better one. I was like, not me. Just send it to me in the post. So yeah, so we got the AEW one. So I got my AEW display on the go. I need to buy a ring without worrying about Cody to throw. So
are you going to use that?
Yeah. So they're getting the rings together because they fit inside a D12. So when I put all the AEW figures,
they don't.
Oh. Does anyone want an AEW?
My AEW one does, as long as you have the front door off.
Oh yeah, my front door doesn't.
Oh well, it's fine then. If the door's off, that's okay.
There you go. I'm going to rock it till the doors fall off. Wasn't okay with Michael Caine then, but better not. Yeah, thank you, rest of the Megastore UK, for this freebie. I feel a bit bad. I should have offered to pay for the postage, but he already sent it by the time I thought about being nice.
Good story.
Johnny.
Where are we? I'm going to. I wasn't going to get this, but I sort of was going to get it. Sergeant Slaughter Ultimate Edition. I seen it.
Of course you were going to get it.
I was willing to pay for it, and I think it was about £90 all in. So.
Oh, to be fair, that's a good price. I know you're wincing, Adam, but I've seen him go for 180, 200.
Yeah. Just because I have no connection with Slaughter as a character, I didn't like it. So yeah, go on.
The week before that, I almost picked it up at about 125. But then I thought, nah, maybe not at that price. But then 90 come about, and I was like, go on. So there you go.
I quite like the way that all the accessories and stuff are just sort of hidden away.
Yeah, makes sense. They're copying off the Cody ringside.
Yeah, also the LJN is what they're sticking to. But yeah, I like that.
Okay, so whether I open it now?
I wouldn't.
Why?
Only because it looks nice, so nice in its box. I think if the box looked dog or standard, then but I wouldn't. Imagine that next to one of the Ultimate rings and stuff and all displays.
Space for all that sort of thing.
Well, get rid of some of your 50 belts behind you then. That 24/7 belt. What's that? Get it out.
Guilty looking face.
You're done?
You guys got anything else?
Yeah, I got some stuff. Adam?
Yeah, my last one. So one that I wasn't expecting, to be honest. I didn't pay for it. I didn't order it. I was just randomly putting a like and stuff on an old school customs post and said how I thought the figures were cracking. And then about a week later, they appeared at my doorstep through the post. So thank you to Mike at Old School Customs, who has sent me, sorry if this offends your mate, Jamie, but it is a custom Chronic Galoobs. So Brian Clark and Brian Adams, fully painted in the Chronic attire from late WCW, one of my favourite ever tag teams. I've never had a custom Galoob before, so really impressed with them. Thank you very much again, Mike. Very much appreciated. Me and Mike have a very special relationship.
What I will say is, like, when you see special when you see like custom Hasbros and stuff, and they have a bit of extra paintwork and stuff on there, the paint always looks really cheap. It doesn't on that, which is quite interesting. Like, generally, sort of trying to give an example, but like when they write someone's name on their trunks or something, it's always the standout because it looks horrible, whereas that doesn't.
It's hard to do that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But that doesn't. That looks really nice. Professional.
Yeah. Done a good job there. Yours seems to knock them out of the park, especially tag teams.
Yeah.
Have to get them on board for tag team FWL next year.
We're in discussion about the competition he's going to be sponsoring.
Maybe that's the prize. Maybe you just presumed that.
No, what's going on my shelf?
Yeah, so speaking of LOH, I had a raffle win recently. I bought 2 tickets to the raffle, and I won. I was given a choice of prizes. I picked the Ultimate Editions, so I got the Ultimate Bret Hart, which so Mohammed sent it in a little protector as well, which the protectors, it was a little bit slightly damaged, the protectors, which was a bit annoying, but it hasn't affected the figure at all. Just a cheap protector, I think. Yeah, it's his job.
How many times you had that one then?
Twice. I got one loose and one in its box. What?
And how many times you had the other one you won?
Twice. The Rock. The first Rock Ultimate Edition, Amazon exclusive. This one, the hand is completely inside its box rather than the other one, which was rattling all over the shop, and it's got the correct T-shirt on, rather than the I'm Your Pappy mistake, which people thought would be expensive. It turns out to have gone the other way. But delightful figure, pretty much already sold because I'm not keeping these. So
Why?
I just don't, because I like money more than I like certain figures.
But even for money, that one will probably rocket still.
Yeah, I mean, I got close to 200 for it. So
For both or the one?
just the
Obviously
Rock.
both.
Just the Rock.
I was thinking FWL prize, but it's fine.
Well, I've still got the Bret. The Bret's not
Fair,
sold.
you've done well to get 200 for it now.
Well, close to 200. I think 170 posted.
Oh,
It's
well,
gonna keep
that's not
going
close
down.
to 200.
Yeah,
That's not exactly what it's worth.
I paid them. But yeah, Bret Hart is still. I haven't sold him yet. But yeah, decent figure.
That will skyrocket, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I was surprised at the Finn Balor.
To be honest, but
Well, Finn Balor was what, 15 quid in certain places. I think even on places like Very it was like 20 quid. Whereas now you can't get one on eBay for less than like 80, 85 quid.
what does that tell you, Jamie?
People are idiots.
And idiots are selling them now.
I almost go up. But yeah, I think I'll probably win one again at some point.
All right.
By the way, you started that off with speaking of LOH, which we weren't, by the way, just to pull that.
I was going to say speaking of Ultimates, but then because we were speaking of Ultimates at the time.
Anyway, let's move on to something I haven't even opened yet. That's how thrilled I am at getting horse these days.
Where's your hat gone? I thought you were wearing a hat.
Took it off. It was a bit hot.
Mm.
Anyway, this is box number 1. So we'll see what's in it. Bit of a surprise to me, to be honest.
Just
Probably
make
what-
sure you're not opening our Secret Santas or anything by mistake here.
Mine's
Now you
not
wouldn't send me this.
no, mine's not that big.
So it is, as you said before, sell the replica belts. No, I think I bought another one.
What do you reckon? The tag titles? I'm trying to think what Johnny hasn't got. It's got the big eagle. I can see the big eagle behind him. Oh,
Here is tag team.
my favourite tag team titles.
Have a look. I should have already opened it before the podcast because
Hey, what can you do? People like a live unboxing.
I've got so much stuff on it. So much packaging.
I'm surprised because is this one of the ones that recently come on the market there? I'm surprised
Yeah,
it took them so long.
They've released the classic one in the silver and this one together, whereas they didn't have it on for like years. And the tag belt was like worth the most, especially when I had like the WWF logo. But I've sold that for a decent amount for it, so I thought I'd buy a brand new one.
Was it
I'll
closer
probably
to-
get the classic one as well eventually.
How different is that to the Ruthless Aggression one?
So there you go. You could probably say it was the first part of the Ruthless Aggression because it has the WWE logo on rather than WWF.
It's a stunning belt. My favourite.
Because the belt that I had like this before was in pretty bad condition, so I'm happy to get this one in a much better, new condition. And it's very shiny and golden.
It's a lovely belt. Adam, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, lovely belt. I'm old school, and if I was going to get one, it would definitely have to have the WWF logo on. But I can obviously see the goodness about that one.
That sort of comment for people. Sorry, Adam, but that sort of comments for people who can't accept reality.
What reality?
Recept.
Oh, reset. I thought you were trying to say accept and just doing it wrong.
No, recept.
But yeah, it's a great belt. Probably my second favourite tag team belt. I actually like the 2004 kind of SmackDown one. You know, the one that Big Show and Miz held together.
Yeah, the Guerreros, which reminds you of.
Yeah.
I don't mind the penny tags, if I'm honest. I know they look a bit cheap and stuff, but the sort of the bronze with the black, but the ones that like Michael McGillicuddy and stuff held, I thought they were alright for the time.
Yeah, interesting you said that about the SmackDown belt, because I have actually picked up the Raw belt, the Raw tag team.
Your third favourite belt, Adam, is it?
I really like those Raw ones as well. So yeah, I'm interested to see this one. I didn't even know they did this one in the big versions.
I didn't open these when they arrived.
The probably belts like this is always like, because I know like nostalgia and stuff, and we went from the Attitude Era, but the Ruthless Aggression Era is probably the biggest like nostalgia hit for me, because it was like that age where you just take in knowledge. So sort of going back and watching the old Raws and the old SmackDowns, they're fantastic if you actually sit down and watch them compared to current day and some early Attitude Era as well.
Yeah, I sort of see what you mean in terms of early Attitude. There you go.
Beautiful.
There they are. Held by such folk as Batista, which reminds me of that belt when him and Ric Flair held it.
Yeah, I don't think
La Resistance.
You couldn't say there was any sort of one tag team that sort of was the most famous for holding it. Could maybe say like
Dudley's.
RKO or something like that, but
I think Big Show, for me, because of the action figure where he had them both over the shoulders, that was one of my favourite figures for absolutely ages. So I think he really shows off those belts.
Big shows them off.
Yes.
And we're not finished yet. There's another one.
Christ. This be a thing I'm going to have an early night.
Next man was obviously nice to Jono.
He's giving him your money, Adam. That's what he's done.
I think we've already discussed the taxman issue, and I think I've got a bigger bill than you are.
You have indeed. You're obviously doing a better job than me.
He doesn't avoid tax, he evades taxes.
What's that? Allegedly what?
Respect, pal.
Speaking of liking the SmackDown tag team belt.
Hey.
What have we got over here?
Once again, the Basham brothers were great champions around this sort of time, weren't they?
And Shaniqua.
Los Guerreros, man.
Yeah.
World's greatest tag team for me. These ones.
They were awesome.
That's amazing. Think of lots of good tag teams for the SmackDown version of it, but not so much for the Raw.
Well, SmackDown was on fire at this point with the SmackDown tag team titles. There was the really good battle. Was it Benoit and Rhino, Tajiri and Eddie / Los Guerreros?
The year before was better.
2002 Survivor Series, the Triple Threat Elimination, whatever it was. Was it Angle and Benoit, Edge and Mysterio, and was it Los Guerreros then?
Sounds right.
Yeah, fantastic.
I feel like a champion just opening those. Yes!
That is a smacking belt, that.
It is. These are like the other tag team belt. These have been like off Euroshop for years and years and years and sought after. And you know, the other versions were commanding high prices. But obviously, they're probably going to go down now that these have been re-released.
I think like certain Paul London and Brian Kendrick are also ones that I was a big fan of as well.
They held them the longest time ever, didn't they? Or was that was Demolition?
Well, I think for those titles, yeah. But how do you feel holding the Raw and the SmackDown?
I feel like the Big Show, Adam.
More like Miz.
Yeah, I suppose so. Get the US title around my waist and that'll be it. There we go. Version. A mammoth unboxing. I didn't mean to do that. I shouldn't have done that, and it won't happen again.
Oh, that's all right. So now I forgot to talk on. So once we get to relive the Ruthless Aggression era, I think we should cover it one episode, but it's a conversation for another time.
The whole era.
Well, just favourite bits and stuff.
We've done bits.
We're coming up to like when we're doing the flashbacks and pay-per-view reviews and so on. coming to 2002, aren't we? Which is the birth of it. So, so look, see. You're all out of pickups, Johnny. Have you got any other belts?
I'm all out. I've made a massive mess in this room.
And in your pants. Right, should we move on to retro review, should we, boys?
Let's do it.
I can't afford these Hasbros. Green car's more than my Citroen C1. I'll be lucky to see one. I can't afford these Hasbros. People off the rails trying to buy these grails. That's my new entrance of retro review. Got some work to do on it.
You might want to see if Cultaholic have a go at you for that one, Jamie, seeing as that's their theme tune that they do.
But We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel.
Yeah, he does it in most episodes.
They don't own that.
Yeah, Billy Joel owns that. If they want to start the fire, I'll start the fire.
Great song. It was one of the shortlists for my entrance songs, actually.
There we go. But yeah, I could probably do a song where I could name all the Hasbros in it, which would be good, but we'll have to see. See how close it is to those weird people. Anyway, retro review time now. Johnny, look at Series 7, shall we?
Oh yeah, Series 7. Almost forgot, because I haven't posted the tables at this time of recording, but I will do by the time you'll see this episode.
Well, just say that you posted them yesterday, and then
That'll be league tables. But I have done the calculations, and drum roll, we have a new number one. Obviously, Shawn Michaels, and he's gone straight to number one by quite a bit as well. 9.57 average overall score.
very happy at that.
Yep.
So that's over the big boss man who's second at 9.29.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is it'd be pointless doing it if we're just gonna end the league on 3 series.
Yes, is Shawn Michaels just down number one now?
No, of course he's not. Because we've got
We'll have to see.
loads of big hitters. We've done 7 series. We've still got another 4 to go. So
Properly, accurately review the figures as well. Not say it's an excellent figure, then discount it. Anyway, Razer Ramon also in the top 10, 8.84 out of 10.
I'm surprised at that.
9th. It went lower because of me, basically. But I had my reasons, and I said them last week. Kamala and Crush made the top 20. And, you know, because of me also, Owen had a respectable score, unlike you naughty people. And Nails was the worst of the series, but still in the average zone, 6.97 out of 10.
Hey, it's a good series, Series 7. I didn't realise how good Series 8 was until we started looking at this series. So,
and we've got some serious scores coming in for this as well, from Legion Hasbro, which we'll get to.
Because who we got up first, Johnny? Who's top?
First one is the Bam Bam Bigelow, with his tattooed head and his flamed body. It is essentially an earthquake/typhoon body, so you can see his little vest underneath. I don't mind that because I think he used to sort of wear a vest underneath as well, like One Man Gang did, and Akeem. That's sort of used, so I can forgive that. People are a bit funny about the tattoo. It doesn't look very good. It's just a blue blotch on the head. I don't know if I've got paint loss or whether it's part of the design or not.
But yeah, I mean, toyetic is the word that you'd use for it, just because the body is just really good. Tattoo on the head, I think that as a kid I didn't overly notice it that much. Obviously as an adult you go into because you know what you've got eyes, but I think yes, it's a rememberable figure.
I think so.
I think the main thing for me on this one as a kid was that is the one that I spotted on the car boot tables. So if I was looking for wrestlers and Hasbros, the yellow on that one proper stood out. So I knew there was Hasbros over there because I saw it from a distance. The head didn't bother me as a kid. It does bother me as an adult. I have seen ones where I think the prototype was very different, or at least the original version they were going to make was very different, and it does look a lot better. So points have to be knocked off for me for that one. But yeah, body's great. I don't mind the singlet thing at all either. As a whole for the series, because I can't just mention it one by one, I do need to say that the cards on this are much better than the previous series. Every single picture on the back of these series cards matches the figure perfectly. So yeah, well done to Hasbro for that one. There'll be no complaints from me on this series. But what a figure. It's just, like Jamie said, toyetic as anything.
Fair enough. On the cards, but would you, while we're on it, yellow or red card, regardless of like the picture that's on?
See, you can't say regardless of the picture, because I think the figures for the yellow cards match, but they match the yellow background, and the ones from the red card match the red and the black background. So the Undertaker wouldn't look good on the yellow back, and the Crush wouldn't look good on the red, if that makes sense. So like Bam Bam,
I can see what Jamie's saying.
yeah. So the Bam Bam on the red looks fantastic. On the yellow would look good, to be fair as well. But certain figures look better on certain backing cards.
Maybe. I wonder if any of the artists in the LOH group would knock something up like a concept art where you have this series on the yellow. We'll see what it looks like.
Yeah, I can just some good ones. But speaking of LOH, let's have a little gander at their comments. Jason Lipscomb has put, one of my favourite Hasbros even don't speak today, would have been a 10 if that flame on his dome had more detail like the prototype, which is what Adam alluded to earlier. That seems to be the general consensus, is that they're happy with the figure. It's a good figure for them to use. Steve Holwell has put 9 for this tubby hero. I assume he means Bam Bam and not me.
You're not a hero, Jamie.
POS, right. My score for this figure, 8.8. It's high. It's really high. The tattoo on the head I can get over. It's just, a few marks down for it.
Great figure to do the moonsault with. I forgot to mention that.
Very good. And the headbutt, yeah.
And the headbutt, yeah. For me, it loses a considerable chunk because of the head. But that's all I'm taking it off for. Nothing else on the figure. So 8.5.
Yeah, I think it's a good figure, and the detailing and the tattoos which you've got to mention, which is good. Flames look awesome. As you see, it's bottom a mile away. 8.7 for me. And we've had 8.5, 8.7, 8.6, and LOH has scored 8.66. So we're all very much in the same area.
Would you look at that?
We all agree this time.
And
Ish.
it looked good with that Veludo Vachon that's just come out as well.
Something that we all never agree on is Bret Hart. And that's who's coming up next.
So yeah, I think this is one that seems to sort of split the crowd a little bit.
I think Bret in general does.
Yeah, I think the colours pop a lot more on this figure than they have done in the previous Series 4. I don't think I had this. I didn't have this as a kid. I just had the Series 4 one. The sunglasses I really like. Did you ever wear silver shades?
Yeah.
Okay.
More early Bret than this period Bret, though.
Yeah, I think it represents the early Bret, 92, that sort of time, 91, 92.
I tell you what, I was going through Twitter and this Facebook page called Hasbook. I'd be going through all the Hasbro figures compared to when they wore that outfit from the Hasbro figure. And they've got a Bret one for this one.
Yeah,
I'll insert a picture. You can't see that well, but
I think I've seen this. I'm not sure it was a Bret Hart or was it some other wrestler. And they showed the figure and they showed the image, and it was nothing like the image. I was like, am I seeing things? I think it was the Bret Hart, actually. It wasn't the same attire.
But
He's definitely wearing it in the picture on the card.
Yeah, and that's and it's got 4 hearts, which is accurately correct because at the time you had 4 kids, and in the Series 4 one you had 3. So make it a censor.
I like that the logo's off side. Kind of had that for a while. Good detail on it, to be fair. The skin tone, I think, if it was like a standalone figure, it would have been really good. But if you like put it next to like Yokozuna or Hulk Hogan, even, it doesn't quite look right.
Come on, it looks like a carrot. Come on.
Yeah, but I think like if it was a standalone figure, it was just this on its own, it would be fine because Bret was very tanned.
I can't agree with you on that one, I'm afraid. It's very orange.
Actually, maybe you're right.
Bret à l'orange.
The orange.
This was definitely my favourite one to find as a kid. If I found this one on a car boot, it was like a golden eureka moment because you didn't find that many of them. As a kid, I did not mind the skin tone at all. It was great. But as an adult, it's awful. Awful. And that's a big thing for a figure because it's quite a big percentage of what you can see, which is a shame because it's a cracking figure.
I think it's better than the pale Bret we had last time, though. Very much. Easily.
Just somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Of the scale. You just
the
bang.
elbow pads pink. Unfortunately, I don't believe you ever wore pink elbow pads.
There is a variant, isn't there, where he had black. A very rare black pads variant.
This is like a custom.
No, I saw a picture of it on card where he had black pads.
Okay,
But as I said,
Research on that.
So yeah, let's have
writing on the back maybe, but never mind.
Robbie Duncan has put 7. Face is terrible, not really in proportion for Bret. The ring gear saves it, is what he says. Colin Campbell has put Butterface, banging bod, but face not so much. But yeah, it seems to be sort of the high 9s, high 8s seems to be the one for this. The occasional people with a little bit lower. And Mike Sands has put 10. You know he usually comments on these, so he's put 10 on there.
Good comment.
Cheers, Mike. Well, he's put 10 out of 10. My favourite Hasbro is what he's put.
Thanks for that, Mike.
Yeah. Shout out to @90sv, followed by Bret Hart. Yes.
Yeah. So Legion Hasbro, I've scored this quite high overall at 9.1.
Decent score.
Overall.
I think for me, I never had it as a kid. I was not marking down for that. So, but I would have preferred this one to the series for Bret as a kid. It's got to be middle 8s for me, 8.5.
Bit of deja vu from me. I'm kind of saying the same thing as Bam Bam. There's one thing that I find terrible about it, but it does knock quite a big chunk off. But it was one of my favourite figures when I was little. So 8.6, slightly higher than Bam Bam.
And me.
Yeah. And it's 8.9 from me. Slightly higher than Bam Bam. And slightly higher than the other Bret. So, there we go. And we move on to the Narcissist Lex Luger. He's white.
I'll start with Legion of Hasbro on this because Clark has made a quite detailed comment, so thanks for putting on there. He's gone 7.5 out of 10. This is a solid figure. Obviously would have been better as USA Series 12. The Narcissist could have done with a robe, but good ring attire, minus a point for the moulded Union flags and another for the washed out look overall. Colour scheme could have popped a lot more. Good action, especially when slamming Yokozuna, which was what mine did frequently. Very detailed response in there, and it makes sense apart from the Series 12 comment because also you can get it.
Apart from like, oh, there could have been this.
But you guys put what you want in there. You put what bloody hell you want in there.
We do not have to agree, though.
No, of course we don't. That's the thing with opinions. They're like arseholes. Everyone's got one, and most of them stink.
Anyway, if you look at the skin tone of Bret, just to go back to where these guys had a similar sort of tan and completely night and day there.
So your Lex there looks like it's got a decent skin tone, to be honest. The one that I've not had this since a kid. The one that I had and the one that I looked at in preparation for this pod looked so pale. That looks all right. Is it all right? Or are my eyes deceiving me?
Yeah, I think it's exactly how it should be, to be fair.
Maybe it was sun damage, the one that I had then.
It's a very easily sun damaged figure.
Maybe. But then, yeah, our upcoming figure looks a bit funny as well, comparison. But I think this is like a good sort of tanned figure. Well, way to go with Lex anyway. But he's right about the Union Jacks. It's just a pretty British Bulldog arms, so it's got the Union Jack sort of thing, and even the designs go completely off onto the skin, so that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I do like the bits of silver in the designs on the boots and on the trunks, and the face is pretty good, to be fair, for Hasbro. So it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's not. I see, everyone's saying they should have done with a robe, and you can agree with it. I mean, because maybe it should have done, but it's shoulda, woulda, coulda. I think they've got to cut some corners somewhere, haven't they? And if we don't really get a robe just to get the figure, then I'm glad they didn't get a robe. Same with the Beverly Brothers. Would you rather have the figures with no robes or just no figures at all?
Exactly. Can't really, shouldn't comment on what it should have come with, or it should have been a different attire.
Once again, comment what you want.
Except we're going to rip it apart when you do.
The narcissist.
Well, I'll start this one off points-wise then. There's definite shortcomings in this one, but there's more good than bad. It's not a bad figure. It's definitely all over the kind of average score that I give out for figures, so 7.2. Like it. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as a kid, it was a decent enough figure to play with. Didn't really mean much to me. I don't think Lex was sort of overly in it at the time that I was playing with this figure. But yeah, I think an even 7 for me would be justified for this figure.
Yeah, and at 7.4, because I do think it's a pretty good figure. Just let down by the laziness in the arms, the Union Jack.
It's the ham sandwich of the Hasbro world.
I suppose it is. Legion Hasbro all scored it lower than us though, at 6.68.
That was helped by Chris Reddy. Just put 6 and just put boring.
Boring. I don't think it was a boring figure, but yeah, each their own. Anything? Oh, yeah, you've already read Phil's, haven't you? So
Clark's, Fred Clark's.
Clark, sorry.
Yeah, I already read his marathon comment.
Sorry about that, Phil and Clark. Right, so Mr. Perfect is next up, and I think he suffers. I don't know if it might just be mine, but the tan's a bit uneven, especially when you compare it to the paint legs.
You can tell.
I don't think it's just mine though, because it looks like it's supposed to be. The head's the same color as the upper body. It's just the lower body's a bit. Actually, maybe because my boots are a bit like sort of yellowing, so maybe there is sort of issues with it. Does have the Mr. P logo on, pretty good. And finally, we do have a backing for it rather than the Series 3, which had only yellow all the way around. So we've got the design at the back, which is good. Unfortunately, 2 different shades of yellow from the upper half to the lower half.
I didn't realise this figure existed until just now. No, until a good couple of years ago, I'd say. I just thought the other ones when we got. But I'm really happy that they did release it with the little colour change on the back.
Adam?
Yeah, it's the attire that I associate Mr. Perfect with, so it's better than the other one, which I can't remember the score that I gave from the other one, so I'll probably completely ruin that by giving it a less score. I can't comment on the skin tone because I've only ever had this as a kid, so I've not seen it recently at all. But yeah, it's more iconic than the other one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And if you want to know your score from last time, I can't tell you, so you don't look. In fact, no, I want to hear your score first, then I'll tell you.
Right.
Oh no.
All right, I'm going to go with my score first, just because I said that. So it's 8.3 for me.
Straight 8.
Rate 8 from Adam.
I think it's very, very similar to the other one, but I don't know if it's a bit better or a bit worse. 9.1.
Oof.
What? 9.
9.1.
Wow.
Because
To be fair, to fair to Jamie, LOH scored at 9.23.
Really?
Overall out of 10.
the
Which is
reason
more than he scored Shawn Michaels.
the reasoning for it is because it's my favourite mould for a figure, as I said, for the original Mr. Perfect. The move makes sense, the action makes sense, the colour of the outfit makes sense. I love the little detail on the back. The Mr. P on the boots is a nice little touch as well. The only downside to it, as you said, is the hair colour for me is a wee bit off.
The head's a bit crap as well.
I don't overly mind. I know what you mean, but it's It's weird that I associate the head more with Mr. Perfect than I do Mr. Perfect actual head, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for that. Getting back to, you haven't embarrassed yourself, Adam. You scored it 7.8 last time, and now you scored an 8, so very good. Jamie, you scored it 8 from Series 3. So a point ahead. Oh, a bit more.
Legion of Hasbro, let's have a look at Joey Knight's score. Joey Knight episode, this one, isn't it? It's a one I should bring out memories of the ones that got away to this day. But yeah, got to be a 10 because that's perfect. What he's put. And Johnny Booth has put 10 for this perfect person. So I think that probably plays into it a little bit, doesn't it? It's just everyone's perfect 10. Mr. Perfect, let's give it a 10. But,
yeah, it might be why they've done it. Seen the word perfect, you see perfect 10. Very Ty Dillinger of LOH.
Yeah, that's good for not reviewing a Ty Dillinger figure, isn't it?
Probably is, because it wasn't great, was it?
I didn't mind it.
I was going to say, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was all
Might
right.
be thinking of a basic or something else.
Yeah, they had the coat and stuff, didn't it?
Yeah, actually, yeah, it was all right, wasn't it?
It's quite hard to come by. I mean, you see it that often.
Might be rare now. Speaking of rare, this coat on the Undertaker is quite rare. So we have Series 8 of Undertaker.
We refer to that as rocking horse shit down here.
Oh, they do. They have that down there.
What's in there?
I do have one of those coats. I think it's fake, but I'm not 100% sure, so I might have to send it to somebody.
I remember you saying that you bought something on eBay for cheap.
Oh, I remember.
You weren't sure of it, but I'm not sure if they even sent it.
It was the hair colour, wasn't it?
No, I actually just got the coat.
So yeah, anyway, back to the figure. It's essentially the same figure as there was in Series 4, but they've corrected the beard to a more natural colour.
Yeah.
Eyes still a little bit mental. And they've added a lovely coat, so win-win.
It looks dashing, doesn't it? Straight off the set of Sex and the City. Okay, on. Never owned this as a kid. Probably would have lost the coat if I did. But yeah, it's an improvement for the Series 4.
Oh, you're going to give a score then?
I can give you a score. It's an 8.7.
Wow.
I've been very generous this one. This is a good series.
You drunk?
So it's an iconic figure, and the coat for me just makes a lot of sense. It's a good little touch.
It does add a lot with the coat, and yeah, I'd probably give it a solid straight 8.
Yeah, it's a really good one. I'm not sure I even owned it as a kid. I've got no feelings for it as a kid, which kind of loses a bit for me. So yeah, I think I could just go between you both. 8.2. I have no real strong feelings.
Any strong feelings from LOH then, Jim?
Oh, well, there is. Daniel Ahmed has put 9.5, one of the best figures. That said, it would have been nice if they'd given him a figure without the hat, perhaps even a different action, or the black and purple. He does love this figure, though. Matthew Stevenson has put 9, spot on almost, and coat is awesome.
Yeah, fair point. And they scored it overall 8.95. So another high scorer.
All right.
As we move on to the final one in this series, it is Yokozuna.
I think this is
Black
one that
band, red sack.
always everyone seemed to have this as a kid for some reason. Yokozuna. I
I
think.
didn't.
Oh, did you not? Oh,
Nope.
that's awkward. I think I had one that his arm broke or something when I was a kid, and then I got another one, like a boot out. But yeah, I just love it. I like the way the body twists, which I quite like. It's obviously a bit of OCD trying to match up the little knot in his waist, though.
Quite easy though.
Yeah, it's easy. But
I think I must have stopped collecting them after the last series because I do remember having Nails and Owen Hart and Kamala, but I don't remember having any more from any of the Hasbro's later series now.
This is one of them figures that works better as display than play-in. The only thing I used it for playing, I can remember it vividly, was the bonsai drop from the corner. And then when he was in my Royal Rumbles, just getting 4 or 5 action figures in my hand, just to get him out of the Rumble every time. Other than that, the playability aspect for me was very low. So that definitely will lose points. Also, the head suffers from sun damage a lot. You find a lot of really pale heads on Yokozunas, which isn't good.
Fair point.
the feet chip a lot very easily as well.
Yeah, my feet have got black bits on, so he's got like his black nail varnish on.
So
I massively disagree with the playability of this one, though. As you said, it does an amazing bonsai drop. You could do the belly rock bottom, etc. Things like that. Obviously it does its chop or whatever. My acting's a bit rubbish, but
I used to do a super kick with him as well. It was
yeah,
quite well.
Can work.
But yeah, I used to love playing with him as a figure. I think he always needed it. I think he was always my heel champion. And then
I would have loved this, Adam, you ungrateful little boy.
He is the first ever FWLOH champion as well.
there we go.
From a post that was on the other day where somebody put the belt with him.
I think it was Scott. I think Scott Schofield put the belt on, didn't he?
I have to get one of them.
Well, LOH themselves, Rob Sauter, Rob has put 10 out of 10. The scale of this figure is top notch, and the anatomy, that's the word, isn't it? Anatomy. And the bend in the legs to do his finisher with such a great design. Better than a HBK with the same body as the model.
I read that one today thinking, as he's watched the last episode, seeing we saw Sky scored really high and he's having a bit of a pop at us. So thanks for that.
What?
David Showers put 8. Always wanted, never had. So cool and rightly so to have. No other Hasbro's like it. Just wish Yoko had been in the $1 million corporation.
Interesting.
It worked.
It could have worked, couldn't it? Would have been a good little bodyguard for him. The Triads or something.
Mm-hmm.
No Japanese, isn't there?
Yeah. I think we should have Adam score first. I'm intrigued about this non-playability.
I just didn't like playing with it. So, I mean, it's a cracking figure to have on display. It was a great one to have in your collection. It has its moments. It's not perfect. It's a straight 8.
Gosh. Jamie?
I'm going higher than Adam for obvious reasons, because it's better than that for me. 8.7 for me. I think it's just, I agree with Adam's point about the head being easily sun damaged. I think the chipping of the feet as well as from the back of the head also gets chipped, the little top knot. But apart from that, I really like the look of the figure. I like the design. They could have cheaped out. They could have gone for the earthquake body.
I mean, anything can go wrong with the figure, I guess. But I was scoring it on a damaged one. I was scoring
scoring a normal, but you've got to bring into the account of how easy it gets chipped and stuff, and then the head's quite small compared to the body. If you look at Yoko.
Fair point. But yeah, I think it's a really good. I've just had a bit of play on with it because Adam said it wasn't playable, and I've had a good little play on with him and Lex Luger, and we've had a good match. I think the playability is very good. That the look of it's very good.
You're gonna pan. So you pan the camera around that. You've got a little fake Lex Express behind you, and Lex has got out of it.
Jamie will be wanting the USS Intrepid set next.
Yeah. The tracksuit.
The knee nose up. It should have been inverted color wise, because there wasn't much. I think he only wore the black with the red on like some sort of house show once or something like that. Had to find it.
Indeed, if you look at the Hasbro picture,
yeah, it's very hard. It was very hard to find it when like people were looking for these things.
But certain figures, obviously the Macho Man Cowboy, for example, they'll wear them to the screening or when the person will be there. That's when they'll make a note of their outfits, and then it's just down by chance a lot of the time, isn't it?
Yeah, and so I'm going to give you a score of 9.4.
Decent score.
It is a decent figure. And Legion of Hasbro have scored it very high as well. It is 9.32.
Wow.
Helped by a lot of bitter Yoko fans, I imagine.
Interesting series, that one.
Yeah, it's a good series. I mean,
even our low scores were quite high on the whole base of it, though. Yeah.
Yeah, there was no rockers in there, was there?
Every score was over 7. Well, one straight 7 from Jamie for Luger.
Decent all round then. Lovely. Let's open some presents, shall we?
Yay! It's Christmas!
It's the time for good cheer. But yeah, us as podcast hosts, we're also friends. I'm sure you guys would admit. So we had to buy each other gifts, didn't we? It's that time of year for it. We also had the Legion of Hasbro Secret Santa, which one of the three of us was impatient and opened their Secret Santa present first because they didn't realise that they had it. But thank you for my Secret Santa, also known as Daniel Radcliffe, not that one, who gave you a 1, 2, 3 kid hat, which Adam's been eyeing up, haven't you?
Yeah, it looks cracking out on that.
Decent, from Federation Hats, make it. I think they've got an eBay page.
I thought it was very cool. What made him buy 1, 2, 3 kids? Because you keep going about this figure that you're expecting people to send you for nothing.
No, I think it's because it's the only one that they had on the eBay shop.
All right, yeah, it's pretty good. It's very Hasbro-y. It fits with the group.
It fits with the group. It's a decent hat. Nice little bubble on the top. If no one's a massive wrestling fan, they don't know who the 1, 2, 3 kid is, but they don't know it's wrestling related because it says 1, 2, 3. So it's quite good in that sense. And alternatively, flip it around. You've got a nice little bolt.
You'll also be very popular amongst wrestling people.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
So thank you. Also, he gave me a pen as well, but I won't show the pen because it's quite explicit.
Oh,
and a thanks to Wayne P as well, whilst right, he gave me a lovely Christmas card with different names on it and my faces, and it says, "Whatever your identity, have a big tasty Christmas."
He's got the body mold perfect.
So, but yeah, he's just sort of a nice little lesson inside. So thank you for that, Wayne.
Well done.
Right, I'll go. I already slit mine open so that with ease of getting out, and I can see that it's an Elite figure.
Oh, which one is it?
Ooh. It's going to be Bret Hart, King of the Ring.
So it is
decent.
the Berserker Mattel Elite figure. I think I had it on Underrated or Superstar as one of my
about right.
If you put some horns on your hat, Adam, it'd be a spit for you, though.
Yep, sounds about right. You'd have it as an underrated superstar when nobody actually underrates it. It's a cracking figure. That
I think the reason for that is because it was down to about £5 or £10 in Smiths for ages. So it was that series where everybody was just like, nah, I don't need it.
I think that's when I picked up a few. It was like him, the Warlord, Harlem Heat, and stuff from there.
And I think we all came to the agreement that it didn't matter that he wasn't brown as well. Didn't have the brown attire on. Really, really good figure. The face is amazing on this figure. Can be used as Bruiser Brody customs as well. It always gets used on the face. A very similar type of character. Accessories, beautiful. So thank you very much, whoever gave me this. This is a great one, and will go up on the shelf behind me. Thank you.
Yep, that was a smashing one, and we'll get around to me. I always feel that it's at least a figure and something else. So I'm more interested in what the something else is. Gift wrap and everything. So someone's took some care in this.
Not everyone's good at gift wrapping, Johnny.
Oh, we're going to lead. We're going to lead.
Please be a bit please.
Someone knows me well. It is the Warlord from Powers of Pain.
Oh, wow.
So I did notice I did get this in another podcast. I showed it off, but I think it was only last time or whatever, so couldn't have known. But it is like a good one to get me in terms of what I do collect. So well done in judging your audience. Could always use this for a Barbarian custom if guests want to make it for me. So.
I almost got this one for you, Adam, for Secret Santa.
Did you?
Almost, because I know you.
Almost, thanks, Jamie.
It was suggested.
Right, now I've got a box. Should we see what's in the box?
Is it a Barbarian head?
It's like it's going to be a kind of spray. It's going to be a Christmas ornament, isn't it?
A Braun Strowman one.
Hope so. It
Christmas
is.
ornament.
It
Money
is
in the bank.
It's a Hollywood Hogan snowman. That's awesome. I love things like that because I do have a tree with some wrestling stuff on.
Hollywood Snogan.
Yeah, that's probably what it was called, right?
Probably. If not, then I'm available for work.
That's what the Secret Santa's all about, them novelty gifts. I really like that. Thank you very much.
Sounds good, that. Good gift, Sam.
That is it, of course. So,
We've done well there.
I have. Well done to Secret Santa.
I think they're paid slightly more than they should have as well.
Yeah, I think that Warlord is 20, isn't it? And,
yeah, you can't get Warlord for less than 20 yet. Or maybe like 18. But...
might open mine now, boys, shall we?
Ooh. Which one?
These are Jamie's gifts to us, are they?
Yes,
right.
My gifts to you. I've also got one.
Are we opening together because they might be similar?
They are relatively similar. They're not, but they are. So one of you, yeah. Just Adam, you go first. Just peel yours out, and then.
Right. Well, I've got mine. There's no box or anything because Jamie was cheap and he had to send me something else as well. So he just popped in a little bag next to it. It doesn't feel like an elite.
It's not an elite.
Oh, nice. So the first thing before I have a look into it, because there's something in it, is a British Bulldog beanie, like the elite figure, which is awesome. I like that.
It's embroidered from a company called Goosey Clothing. And I found them on Facebook, and I thought, I know you'd like those sorts of things. And
there's something in it. Oh, let's have a look what's in it. Oh, nice.
Come on.
Micro Brawler Macho Man. There was a few different ones of these, Jamie. Do you know anything about this particular one?
That's the Mega Powers Macho Man. Obviously, they had the black one, pink one, an orange one, the yellow one, and I think a green one. But yeah, I figured that you'd like the yellow one, and I luckily had the opportunity to pick one up, so I did, and I figured you'd like it, so I bought it for you.
Yeah, we always say about these micro brawlers, they're amazing as long as they've got a toyetic character, and you can't get much more toyetic than Macho Man in Mega Powers gear. So, brilliant, Jamie. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. I will definitely wear that. You know, I like my hats.
You do? I know you like the British Bulldog for this drop pick ability.
All right, my turn. I'm waiting I am. Oh, I've got a hat as well. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's Bret, of course.
Nice.
I've also got a hat, which worked out well. I got a Big Boss Man on my one.
Nice. Oh, there we go. Might as well stick it on now. Actually fits me because some adult hats I've got a fairly smallish head and sometimes I don't fit. Yeah, this is really snug.
Go on, Adam.
In fact,
Adam,
really warm as well.
Pop yours on as well, Adam. We can have a.
I've got something in the
go.
bag.
There you
I'll
go.
open in a minute.
We all look delightful with our embroidered hats.
Yeah, this feels like it could be really warm in a very cold day, so definitely be wearing that.
Just like a hug from Bret Hart himself.
Oh, I've got a sports almanac from Back to the Future. That's awesome, actually. It's very thoughtful because obviously I've watched that recently, and the gimmick is a little bit on Marty McFly and Back to the Future. So
have a look. The bag is also from.
I know something else. There's a little envelope full of cash, I hope.
I know I did get a work bonus for cash today, but you didn't pass it on to you, so no.
And sports almanac keyring.
There we go. And also the carrier bag that it came in is also a Back to the Future reference as well. It's the
of course, blast of the past.
There we go.
You know what, Jamie? You've surpassed yourself. You've surprised me. You've done really well.
Well, the good thing is because we set a limit, didn't we? And these hats are normally I think they're normally like £10 each. So what I did was they buy 2 get 1 free, which means that they worked out £6.50 each, which then opened me up to then buying more for you two then. So it worked out even better for everyone.
Lovely.
Fair play. Right, I guess you should open mine then.
Oh,
we opening them together or?
No, we'll do them apart. Jamie started on his, so I guess you can go first.
Yeah, I did think I was being smart by opening it in advance. It turns out you was there.
I'm a very minimalist rapper.
I've got a jar of sweets, which is
right. The explanation to behind the jar of sweets: if you hate everything else, at least you're going to enjoy the sweets.
Right. Okay. That's a very valid point. And the good thing is, I'm lactose intolerant, and none of these would give me a flare up. So that's good. I've got a John Cena. Are these the Bleacher Creatures, or are they? No, they're ones before them, aren't they?
That was literally so I didn't have to put any packing in the box.
I got a Santana and Ortiz AEW.
You haven't got them already, have you?
I've got them boxed.
Oh no!
But I haven't opened them.
I looked through all the recent podcasts, and I thought, which maybe 2 figures could get you? But AEW collection.
But the good thing is, I've now got a loose Santana Ortiz, a loose Sammy, a loose Chris Jericho. So I can do a loose Inner Circle. Or I just get a loose Hager. So it worked out well. Thank you very much.
Well, I haven't done well because you've already got them.
Well, I've got them boxed. I haven't got them loose.
Yeah, it's pause.
And
all the box one.
And you still put some packaging in there.
Well, protect the boys.
Yeah, happy with those. It saves me opening the boxed ones. Or I can just sell the boxed ones.
Yep, do that. I'll get you some money.
Everyone's a winner.
Raid up some money for you.
Thanks for the money there, Johnny.
No bother.
Right, time for me.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What's that for?
Because there's 2 things kind of the same for yours as well. But, right.
So we have Undertaker glow in the dark special edition pop with a protector.
Ooh.
Explanation is we had this as a prize in FWL, and I'm sure you said you really wanted it.
It's not.
I could be wrong, but you also said you like the Adam Bomb glow in the dark, so I thought you might like glow in the dark stuff. So
yeah, definitely it'll look good in my collection up there, which would be good. I do quite like glow in the dark stuff, and Stan really likes stuff that glows in the dark as well. So it's kind of a double thing because I can get him to come and have a look at it and stuff. He'll get a pick off that anyway as well.
In the dark.
Yes.
Wait.
No, sweets. Being lactose intolerant, nah. I probably am, but I drink milk anyway, even though it makes me cough.
It just gives you a bit of indigestion, to be honest. Oh, a Sheamus.
We've got the Sheamus version of it.
Luckily,
Looks like a Lego doll. I like it.
luckily I've got that. So lucky you sent that to Adam, not to me.
There we go.
Instead of packing, of course.
Yeah.
Even though like he's a multi-time world champion, I still think right now Sheamus is one of the most underrated people in WWE. I think people just don't, he's always there and they're taken for granted. Whereas I think Sheamus is amazing. He never has a bad match.
That is true. I thought his match with Riddle at last WrestleMania was the best in the
Oh God, it's the finish of that. I think he's one of those people that will look back on and go, he was actually really same with like Wade Barrett and stuff, where you sort of go, he was actually better than you give him credit for.
And another brawler, and a very good one, very toyetic one, is the Tatanka brawler. You're very lucky that I've not picked this up because I've almost picked this up a few times, but I've never actually got it in the end. So definitely one that I've been looking for. So thank you very much. That's very much appreciated. I need to get my brawler display back up because I took it down and I've just not managed to get it rearranged yet. I need to get it back up.
It'll look good next to some cards.
Yeah, that's a good one, that, because they won't take away too much space from seeing the card. So yeah, maybe.
And if you get a vertical card or a sticker, it will sit perfectly in front of it.
So thank you very much appreciated, Jono, on that one.
Yes, I'm sure we're going to be saying much more thank yous back to you in a minute.
Right, so before you guys start opening this, please. So just to tell the audience, obviously we run the Fantasy Wrestling League, which was my baby to start with, but is now definitely a three-way operation. So I get you guys something to say thank you for helping me run it and running it in a three-way operation. So obviously I have spent a little bit more on gifts for you two. So just before you have a go at me, you know that these are about 5 months in the making. It's probably best you open them at the same time. We'll hear from Jamie first, I think. I really, really, really hope you like these guys.
It's a big boss man beanie hat.
But as we talk on the FWL, I'm not one for just agreeing with you. I do tell you what I think.
Is yours open?
Right, so it's open. Yep. And I've got like a
removed from box.
I've got it in a jiffy after.
Same.
Oh, half a jiffy.
Wow, that is incredible.
Oh my God. How have you managed to do that?
That is unreal.
Only an elite Johnny flashback.
Mine's an elite Big Tasty.
Jeez.
That is incredible.
It is. The attire on this is incredible because my wrestling tights have such very small detail, especially on the left-hand side.
Is this from TSM Customs? That's it, yeah.
I'm a bit
That's
lost
crazy.
for words.
Yeah, me too. Has you got the matching shorts on yours, Johnny?
No, Johnny's is in wrestling gear.
I'm in wrestling gear.
Awesome.
So, Jamie, if you look at your shoes, you've even got those Simpsons shoes that you wear on your shoes. My thinking behind Jamie's on this one was that we all got the same shorts from Euroshop last year when we won a competition on EWC, and we all got the NWO shorts. So Jamie's in the NWO shorts. He's got his Simpsons shoes on that he bought, that he showed off to us and are horrific. He's got the FWL t-shirt, which I just made because obviously he doesn't wear the same top every episode, which has got the FWL logo and the 3 points of articulation, and then has got his own picture on the back. He's got his FWL hats, and he's got the FWL belt, which was custom made in the USA by Dan Turnquist, I think his name is. I made sure I got a quality belt out of it. The thinking behind yours, Jono, was obviously, as you can probably guess, was your debut. So I had to wait a little bit longer to get yours sorted. The design on your trousers is the exact design from your trousers because we searched the place where you bought them from, found the print, and made it into a decal. So it is literally the exact design.
That's crazy. Cool.
Your t-shirt, Jono, has managed to get a few little flecks on it for some reason, and we can't figure out why, which is why it's backwards. No, your FWL one, which is why it's backwards in the packaging, just because it looks better like that. For some reason, there's loads of little flecks on the front of it, which Tom TSM Customs made these just for our viewers, which he's done an absolutely immense job. He's exceeded himself. Yes. And obviously, your jacket is very similar to the Kushida Elite jacket.
Yeah.
So I used that one in making it. Your heads are both 3D printed, so they're not using any old model of Mattel Elite. They're actually done just for you guys.
That is absolutely incredible. Did you make one for yourself?
The words are just not there, you know, so it's like, that's just the most thoughtful gift I've ever got, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, this is like by far.
And Jamie, you are always banging on about having a figure of yourself. Obviously, just for our kind of 3PA photograph opportunity, I couldn't not make myself one as well. So we have me as well.
Did you take a picture of all three of them next to each other?
Yeah, I'll send you that after the pod finishes.
Thank you. Let's have a look at your one then.
So my one's based on my shorter hair version. I've even got my Asics shoes that I always wear as well. And I've done the NWO trousers on mine as well. And me on the back.
Unbelievable.
Honestly, by far the best present I've ever received in my life, I think.
You've done very well.
I sort of thought
anyone that's watching this, please check out TSM Customs because these turned out like a million times better than I could have ever expected. I was genuinely hoping that you wouldn't hate them. I don't know why I thought that, but you know when you see something and you think yourself it's really good.
Yeah.
I genuinely hoping you two would find it really good.
I have to start wearing wristbands again.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I did do them for my promo pictures, but I never put them on for matches because I think I just got in such like before my first match, I was in such a tiz about getting wrist tape on to the point where I was like, sorry, I don't need it. I'm thinking, why am I getting in a tiz over wristbands? But I think I need to now.
Could be one of the Hasbro test shots we discussed earlier. Johnny Flashback's ring gear.
Yeah. I've got an elbow pipe now, but I'll soon sort that out as well.
Absolutely incredible, Adam.
Customised to your will.
I can't thank you enough for this. I really can't.
No,
close to tears. I'm not happy with it.
You need to shave your beard a bit, Jamie, to be in line with it.
And I also need to grow some hair back as well.
I'll have to get a slight bit of a hair touch up to make it accurate on the sides because it's a bit shaven down the sides, you know, where mine isn't just yet.
Tom Jordan, who made these, is going to be watching the podcast, by the way, and just seeing your reactions. So
yeah,
well, thanks, Tom.
I'm very, very happy, you know.
Yeah, obviously we saw the Owen Hart that Tom did for the FWL last year, and obviously he does incredible work. And obviously this, it does look a lot like me. It's it's
3D printed with your head.
Well, body wise, obviously, I think I have some work to do on it, but it's incredible. Can't take my eyes off it.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't wait to whack it on eBay later.
I'm going to maybe grab an Elite and one up to see the sort of scale in that, because it looks to scale as well.
Yeah, I've not checked the scale. Don't ruin it.
No, I think it is. I'm saying it looks like it's quite short, you know, so it works really well. Like, there's me against DDP. So the height difference is definitely there, so I think it's spot on really for me. That's 5'7", 5'8" at a push. So spot on that way.
Do you remember what I was saying about like when customizers do Hasbro figures and stuff, and the lettering and the wording doesn't really come out that well? perfect on the
On the
shorts. Yeah. All hand done and stuff. The painting, is it, or
Decals.
The
is
York
like,
shorts are, yeah.
incredible? Really is. I can't thank you enough for Adam. Honestly, best present I've ever received.
Hey.
So we should get you a second beanie hat now. If you're
No, thank
Dynamite
you
Kid
guys
one.
for all your help with the FWL. It would not have still been running without you both. So
I don't think I've done as much as Jamie has to deserve this.
Ah,
yeah, but Jamie always says yes, so it's
Yeah.
easier to get.
I'm a yes man.
I'm the argument guy. I always
Yeah.
say.
I'm the yes man. Johnny's the no, yes, but yeah, really happy with Adam. I would give you a cuddle, but you're 500 miles away and we are social distancing. So
Yeah.
Are we? Is that back?
yeah. Yeah, I don't want to bring the episode to an end. I just want to stare at my figure all night. But yeah, we'll end on this note. Let's thank you for your time on this episode, and Johnny, thank you for your time.
Thank you for, in fact, just thank you, Adam, because I'm not thanking you as much. No, man, I'm only kidding. The gifts were all very good, including the Secret Santas from LOH, and we've had a really nice time. Good Christmas.
So really nice. We should do this every episode. We should just give presents away to each other.
No, that was too much stress.
That was, I know. Honestly, I didn't even applaud the amount of work we must have went through to do that as well. So
yeah, back and forth. I'd say applaud Tom at TSMs, but obviously mainly if you Adam for thinking of the idea, having the prep that far in advance as well. Was it 5-6 months in advance to think back to August? Not even then, I mean before then, wouldn't it? June, July time. So yeah, really appreciate the thought that's gone into it.
No problem.
that's a lot.
It's a pleasure. But yeah, we'll be back next week. And yeah, thank you for the presents, Adam, and thank you all for listening.
Bye.
Peace. Bye.